Hey, today I wanted to show you the results of an actual AdWords advertising campaign for a music video by an independent artist without a lot of money. So this is a small budget campaign on AdWords for the video, and I wanted to show you how I set it up and what the results were, because I still think that AdWords and YouTube and video online can be one of the best ways for independent artists to find their audience and grow their audience. So for this campaign, we're looking at the AdWords dashboard here, and I've kind of sized it so that the account numbers and stuff don't show, but the artist name does. The artist is Erie Ave. He's a rapper from the Washington D.C. area. He's a really cool guy. I like Erie. I've known him for a long time, and he's a stand-up kind of guy, and he's a great performer. And so anyway, this is the campaign we did for him. He produced a new music video, and he wanted to try to get it out there in front of some people. He does a lot of networking, and he does a lot of touring when he can, and he meets people that way. But this is a different way. This is, the internet. So anyway, we're going to be focusing on one ad group, which is not this one. Campaign 1 is when you first set up an AdWords account, it makes you sort of create a campaign, a dummy campaign as you do it. And this one ran for a couple of minutes before I turned it off, so these don't really count. They weren't like professionally done. We're going to look at this campaign, Video Ad 1. And it's important going into it that you know who your audience is so that you can accurately target your audience, because the smaller your budget is, the more you want your video to appear only to people who are likely to share it, like it, follow you, and thereby become a customer. Whether a customer of your music downloads, a customer of your merch, whatever. That's basically the whole idea. Other than just artistically having more people hear your art, but that doesn't pay the bills. So if you want to pay the bills with your art, then you have to think of it more in business terms. Okay, so we had a total of 947 views on this, and those 947 views, I'm not going to show you really how to set up the whole campaign. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I have an interesting print head. It's got those big ink reservoirs, and the printer doesn't want to recognize them, but it works really well. So this is all with an in-stream ad. It's a pre-roll ad, and it's a video ad, so that somebody goes to watch a video and your video starts playing, and it's a rap video. So the first thing we had to do, as I said, was find the audience that we wanted it to appear to. And the best rap markets are still urban, and so I targeted the bigger rap market cities in the U.S. with this video, and I targeted pretty much 18 to 35 as the desired age group, which doesn't mean it won't show to other people necessarily, just that that's your preferred age group. I targeted primarily by location, as I said, and by specific video placements. So I picked some of the big and upcoming rap artists out there, and I targeted this music video to appear as a pre-roll before their videos when somebody goes to watch their video. And therefore I had the maximum cents per view bid up to 35 cents, because I was bidding for views in a big urban markets and popular videos by prominent artists. So it's going to cost a lot more there than it would if you targeted differently. But this was, I thought, the best targeting we could get in order to accomplish the goals of the artist, which in this case was to appear to people who were fans of rap in the big. So if we go over and You can basically see the settings up here. The budget was only $10 a day, targeting Houston, Houston, Texas, Los Angeles. We can look at these. These are the markets we picked. What was also nice too is, because the artist opened a new account and spent $25 on promoting the video within the first 14 days of opening the account, I, as a Google partner agency, could give him a Google incentive of free $100 worth of AdWords. So it multiplied his $25 investment 4 times and gave him an extra $100. So the entire campaign, instead of just running $25, ended up running for $130. And I have a sticky page here. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so, and I also targeted New York City, obviously, and others. Okay, so what's good here is the video targeting. Let's go there, because now you can see in these areas, which are all pretty good rap areas. Atlanta was on there, and Miami, and LA, and LA's right there, yeah, and some Chicago, some other big rap markets were there. Waiting for it to do something here. The graphics card hardware just updated, and it's apparently going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, and under video targeting, as you see, we can see demographics, interests, remarketing, placements, topics, and keywords. And what I used were demographics and placements, because I ran it without demographics for a while, without setting age limits, and I saw that over 35 people were kind of dropping off after a little bit of viewing, whereas younger demographics were watching a lot more of the video, so I just picked those particular demographics. So here, as you see, demographics we had were 18 to 24-year-olds. Most of the possible views came from that age group. 415 actually watched it, and those that watched it, an unknown was another big group, and it always is, no matter how you try to target it. Unknown is always a big group. Now I've added another segment onto here to show what sort of device people are using to watch the music video by their age group. 18 to 24-year-olds, well, 220 of the 1,548 people were not sure. 247 watched on computers, but 1,032, the whopping majority, watched on mobile devices with full browsers. And, that's a pretty much obvious confirmation of what Google's been saying, that mobile is the future, especially with younger markets. Tablets with full browsers, only 49 people watched on a tablet, or had an impression on a tablet, and 18 of those watched it. 25 to 34-year-olds, other computers, 84 people. Mobile devices, again, the overwhelming majority watched on mobile devices. That's from 18 to 34. Everybody's on mobile devices. How about 35 to 44-year-olds? Again, mobile devices is the big winner. If I can get this to scroll down a little bit. Here we go. Now scroll up a little bit. 45 to 54-year-olds. Well, computers, only 5 people. Mobile devices, again, 21 people. And 6 people watched it. So The 45 to 54 market, not real great, but they too are predominantly watching on mobile devices. Let's look at placements now, because placements is always good, and everybody likes placements because you get to think like, oh, my video, you know, pre-rolled in front of whatever big band you want to put in there. And I just kept increasing the per view bids on this just to try to get it onto more big name acts. But here are the ones that I picked. The channels of 2 Chainz, Meek Mill, Chris Brown, Kanye, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, The Weeknd, Eminem, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, The Game, Future, Rick Ross, and T.Y. Dolla $ign. Okay, and it's a good range of rappers over a kind of broad spectrum of levels of success and where they're at in their career right now. And so the three that really we got 3 placements on Kendrick Lamar and no views. Wiz Khalifa, we got 76 placements and 8 views. And Meek Mill, we got 432 placements and 87 views. The big one, though, where we were really getting traction was T.Y. Dolla $ign, who isn't yet as big as, you know, Eminem, Drake, etc. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, we actually got 5 placements, too. Anyway, but T.Y. Dolla $ign is where we were getting all the impressions, and we were getting a lot of views. And the view rate, the view-through rate was really good. And also, Future, we got 1 placement there and 1 view. So we had 100% view-through rate. 100% of the people that saw the video watched the video. And The Game, we got 1 there too. And so anyway, so I think the lesson to take away from there is to kind of stick with, if you're going to do a promotion like this, kind of stick with who you might actually be able to open for, say. You know, instead of don't go all the way to the top. Because I think, you know, part of the reason for that is that the fans of people that are 1 or 2 levels above you in the music world are more open to somewhat independent acts who haven't yet made superstar status. And those kind of fans are usually way more supportive, way more involved with the artists that they like. And so that's probably the big takeaway. Although, I mean, Meek Mill is getting pretty big, and we did well with the campaign there too. And even with Wiz Khalifa, that's not bad. You know, 10% of Wiz Khalifa fans who wanted to watch one of his videos took the time to watch Erie's video. So that was a lot of what I wanted to tell you. And, you know, if you would like to have any help, if you're an artist or a filmmaker or, you know, anyone who's doing video and you would like help setting up your channel from an SEO perspective or running campaigns like this, you know, please feel free to get in touch with me. And like we did with Erie here, if you open a new account, spend at least $25 within the first 14 days of opening the account, there is a good chance that I can get you some Google promotional money to put toward your account and boost your small campaign into a little bigger campaign, and maybe give you enough information so that you'll keep on going with it. You know, it doesn't have to be an all-in-one thing, like, oh, this week we have to blow $10,000 on promoting our act. No. You know, it can be $20, $30, $40 a week, but every week. Or even, you know, $10 a week, and only run it 1 or 2 days, just to get yourself out there, to get in front of a bigger audience. And I think there are a lot of things you ought to take into consideration. If you're promoting a music video, maybe you just want to run, you know, a 10-second, a 30-second spot and cut a specific version of the video for that purpose rather than running the whole video, because sometimes that annoys people. Other times it doesn't. It just depends on whether they like the music. And they always have the chance to click out anyway. So If you have a small budget, if you can't make a specific commercial video, okay, it's fine. Run just, the regular video. But if you can, then that's something else to experiment. Even there, maybe run both and see which one the audience seems to like better, which one they watch more of. So, till next time, thanks for watching. I hope that's helped you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Thanks. Bye. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on getting business-to-business leads from the company called Lead Feeder. And just the other day, I got a telemarketing call from another similar company who delivers the same thing. And both of them were fairly comparative as far as the paid versions, which range from about $60 to $400 a month. And if you're in a small business especially, and you're in the business of selling things to other businesses, that might be a lot of money. Might not, it might. It depends. What it comes down to is convenience, though. Because it is convenient to know what other companies are visiting your website, and therefore, they're as good a lead as anything. They've expressed some sort of interest in your business and what you do, but just by visiting your website. So they're handy to have, and they're valuable as leads. But in this case, you have to buy them. One of the nice things about Lead Feeder is that if you don't use a paid subscription, the free version will still get you the businesses that have visited you in the last week, the last 7 days, I think, which in my case are these here: SciCap, Trek Tex, HubSpot, Triparts, Nachman Associates, and some others. Blah, 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 blah. Air France, 6 Rent-A-Car US, and a lot of City of Embryville, California. A lot of times, this could be really valuable. For example, some of them, if you click on the little profile link here in Lead Feeder, it'll show you data they've compiled, such as their website, their LinkedIn site, LinkedIn employees, and those could be handy. They save you a little bit of work. Arguably, you can very easily do that yourself if you don't have the money to spend for a paid campaign or a paid subscription to one of these services. But I thought, everything on the web has always traditionally had a version that's free, and it's usually not as good as the paid version. It doesn't deliver quite as much as the paid version. But depending on your situation, a lot of times the free version is really what you need, at least to start out, to test the waters, to see if any of this is actually going to work for you. So, the purpose of this video is because I wanted to find that free version of a site like this that isn't dependent on the parent company as much. In this case, Lead Feeder, this is a fun little service as long as Lead Feeder is around, as long as they feel like continuing to give you this service. So, I don't know how long that'll be. Maybe it'll be forever, maybe it won't. But obviously they have to pull their data from somewhere. The obvious place that they pull their data is from analytics, specifically Google Analytics, because Google Analytics obviously has all that data about what websites come to your company. It's just knowing where to look to find it and, clearing out the clutter. So if we go over to analytics, and if you don't have analytics and you have a business website, you really have to start at the beginning and get Google Analytics installed on your website. For example, here's Google Analytics pertaining to my website, Specialized Digital Marketing. And I'll just look at the overview here. If I can get over to the side panel and go down there. Here we go. It's creeping. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so in the you set your time period up there. In the last 30 days, which is where it's set, I've had 2,807 page views from 1,098 users for an average of 2.35 pages per session and a bounce rate of 8.95%, with 90% of the people that came to the site being new visitors. And I think those are really good numbers. I mean, but my site's been around for probably nearly 10 years, and it's pretty well developed, and it has its niche going, and it has a content strategy that is driving people in who are interested in the topics that I talk about. So It's taken a lot of work to get there, but I'm really happy with where it's at. Now, if you want to know the companies that have been visiting your website, you can, and I'm going to switch screens here because I already had this set up. Go down here on the left to see Audience, Technology, Network. Click on Network, and that will open up this screen, which will show you. So this is in the last month, I think. Yeah, pretty much. It shows how many sessions. No, I might have set it to a week. I'm not sure, but you can up top there set it to the time period you want to see. Just starting out, maybe you want to look at the last month, but then once you get things caught up, maybe you'll only want to look at the last 2 or 3 days, you know, in order to add any new leads that come about. And a lot of the leads that you're going to see in here are internet service providers. And, you know, if you're a business to business, you know, you're going to end up, the useful data you get is going to be on companies that have their own domain, that handle email and everything through that domain, and that surf from the web from work through that domain. You know, if you're a B2C seller, you know, consumers are all going to come in on Charter Communications, localized service providers like Penn Teledata, which is mine, Time Warner Cable, and Frontier and such. Okay, so those aren't really going to be helpful. However, if you keep, like for example, right here we have 150, yeah, this is the last month, 152 pages with 10 results on each page. You can set that, how many rows you want to see, and then we're on page 1 of 100, results 1 to 10 of 152 results. So there's a lot of pages and a lot to sift through in the last month for me, and there probably would be for you too. But like I said, you can reduce the effort needed there by just changing the date range to something more manageable. So anyway,